Hey everybody, welcome to another Innistrad block 4322 event. I'm Randy, looking at Feed the Pack. I don't think that's where we want to do. Maybe something like Briar Pack Alpha is good enough for us. Or a Niblis. Lots of green in here. And not so much blue. Both are pretty quality cards. I'm more familiar with Niblis. And with all the green and the red in here is going to push those colors to our left, I think. So I think taking the lone blue card is going to be a little better. So let's try that out, see how it works. Seance, power rare of the set. More green. Taking a Lead Inquisitor or Griptide. This card's pretty good, but I think we'll just stick with the blue. No need to branch out into white quite yet. And another Seance. Wow. Alright, Gather's looking good to me. I do like blue-white. And I value Gather pretty high. I mean, the other option is the Vampire, but I think pushing a slower curve. Lower curve is usually better in my eyes. So we can take Cathar here. The super expensive Hell Vault. Which I kind of want to play with, but I think we're better just getting after the aggro aspect. I'm looking at Chant and Loyal Cathar, leaning towards Loyal. Let's get this blue-white going. So we take Elgod or another Griptide. I think I'll be happy with an Elgod. And the blue and the white are both coming. Good sign. In this pack, I'm looking in between the Scab and the Skillful Lunge. Headless Scab isn't the best, but it's hard to get past him. He is a hell of a ground unit. Skillful Lunge is also a good card, but we can pick up more tricks in the Innistrad packs. And I think Scab is just going to be good enough to hold down the ground. Yeah, I'll try the Scab out. Ooh, a nice Heretic late. Another Chant, but Sensory Deprivation usually gets the job done just as good. And I hate going against Undying, and this guy solves that problem. Sort of. But yeah, I'll snatch that up. Got a nice low curve developing. Looking towards a Sea Kite over a Divination. I don't think I'm going to be going flashback style with this deck. So we'll just pick up a 4-drop flyer. And a nice little mill element for our Scab. And we'll probably pick up a few more in the next sets. Chalice or Dodge. There's not a lot of applications for life gain other than just gaining life. For the sake of gaining life. But do I... I'll give Artful Dodge a try. I hate Shriek Geist, so I'll just take a Bone to Ash. And a nice Chant. Sweet. Unplayable cards. This card is not unplayable, but I probably won't be playing it. So, not an awful pack one. Got a lot of blue and white. Saw 0 black. But we turned out more blue than white, so Cathar might be a bit of an issue. And if there's ever a reason to splash green, Township would be it. This is drawing my eye right off the bat. Other options are a Spirit, which isn't exciting, an Assistant, which is okay, a Rebuke, which I wouldn't mind, but I think the green splash for the Township is... Ooh. Let me finish my thought. Yeah, definitely worth the splash. Especially since we're pretty creature heavy so far. And test subject wins games. Lots of good blue in here. And I'm inclined to take test subject over claustrophobia. Because unchecked, he'll win it for you. And I think we can probably pick up a claustrophobia at some point. And even in this pack, I mean, there's a whole bunch of good blue. Grasp or sensory, I'll be happy taking. And even the grotto if it gets around. And I can't pass up a Slayer. Another claustrophobia, which would have been nice, but Slayer's just the bomb. He's real good. And what do we get? I think I just take Blazing Torch. Or a little Removal Light. Pretty much a chant. And it's a good one drop. I wouldn't mind having a Stitchers or Moon Heron table for us. That'd be sweet. But we'll take the Torch here. And a bit of a miss, but I'm happy to get a Silver Chase Fox. Lost in the Mist is also a card I probably value a little higher than most. But we're living in 2-drop heaven right now. And a Chapelgeist. Yes, sir. I do like me a Chapelgeist. So we got double white early. Just need about one blue to get us going. Bone Ash late, so pretty good curve. Nice aggressive 2-drops. And a Silent Departure. Happy to take it over the Back to the Brink. We are a speedy deck, and this card's gonna help us win fast. I'll pick up a mob, sure thing. Creatures for days. We don't benefit too much from ramping. And I think maybe I just want another flyer. We only have the one scab creature, so milling isn't very important. And we have a scab to do it. Yeah, I think I'll just take the Lantern Spirit here. Nice sensory deprivation. Curiosity, probably won't play it, but it's an option. So yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty tight and playable just off the 2 packs so far. Feeling pretty good about it. What are we looking for? Not a whole lot, really. Some form of hard removal. A lot of us, it's bound enchants right now. I guess maybe this could be considered hard removal. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. And we got a Stitchers table. I like it. I think I'll take the Exorcism for the side over the Parasaline. It can kill creatures. Griffin. More reason that we are in the proper colors. So our playable count is pretty much already maxed out. So we can just look for the gravy. Ooh, I do like a mare. We have no splash element. And I'm actually looking more towards the Feeling of Dread over the Mind Shrieker. But Mind Shrieker is... it's a beating. Yeah, I can't pass it up. As much as I do want a Feeling of Dread, I can't pass up a 2-drop that can potentially win the game on its own. It's some place to stick your mana where when you're not doing anything else with it, which I do like. But I do want a Feeling of Dread really bad. And a bit of a miss here. Moment is catching my eye. We're creature heavy already, so I think a Trick is going to benefit us more than a Mauler would. And just for quick, that's human. No, human. So not just looking at our human count for potential equipment cards, but a Moment here. And a Stalker? Don't have anything to go with it, but he does beat. We could take up a Smite over the Stalker. We are going to need removal. And we don't have anything to really go with the Stalker, so I'm more inclined to take a piece of removal. Because more often than not, he's just going to be a 1-1 for us. So I'm going to pick up the Smite, which is pretty good in our deck. If we're going to lose to something, it's going to be, end game stuff. Fixing element for the township would be nice, but Rig is a 2-for-1. And a good late game card for its own sake. Sentry's good here. I like it. I don't like Scab in this deck. Not too excited about Alchemy either. Maybe I just want a mask? This would be a great pack to have an Amulet or a Shimmering Grotto in. I don't think I'm going to play any of these cards. Maybe I just hate the Tembler. I think I'm going to hate the Tembler here. And let's pick up another Moment. Or we could take a Cathar. Let's hide this Abbey Griffin. I like pretty much everything else we got. Moment's just a beast. The lifelink is it's such a good card. I like Cathar, and it fills out our curve rather nicely, but Moment can really break a game wide open for us. Virtue doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. We just have the Elgod and the Townsfolk. And a Stitcher's Apprentice. But it's more of a dedicated card for a token strategy. So maybe we'll just take the Cobbled Wings. Alrighty. Take a Lost in the Mist. Sure, we'll try that out. Mauler's fine. So we're not going to get our fixing element for the township. So I think it would be a little too greedy to play it. Good board card. Sure. So I don't think this is going to be able to make our deck. Maybe it could. We could put 2 forests in. Just hope to hit it. I don't know. The deck's going to be a lot more consistent if we leave it out. It's a really powerful card, though. But I think our deck is going to be pretty streamlined and run nice without it. Got a whole hell of a lot of 2-drops, and the double white. Cobbled Wing's not going to make it. Boy, our playable count seems really high to me. Alright, I'm going to make a little deck here, and I'll show you. Okay, so these are all what I have in my mind as playables. So let's sort them into spells and critters. I'll keep the Townsfolk up here. Our removal suit looks a little lacking. But our creatures kind of... I mean, this could be a removal. Slayer, Geist Catchers, Sea Kites kind of like removal. So we could cut the Scab. Maybe eliminate the counter package. Takes us down to 26. I do like to sit around behind a Lost in the Mist. If we take out the Scab, our Mauler and our Headless Scab gets a little worse. So maybe we want to keep that in. Stitchers doesn't do a whole lot in this deck, really. We're not benefiting from sacking, so it's just going to be a 1-2. With all our 2/2s, you know, we can kind of swing in. It does pump our mob. He's just always kind of good. Lots of critters. Maybe we can live without sensory deprivation. Enchant. They're more of a control deck removal suit, I think. Whereas we want to be hard killing or bouncing to get our guys in. So we could cut out the counter spells. Leave us with combat tricks only. I like the Lost in the Mist too much to cut it. So let's trim our 2-drops a bit. And how do we want to go about doing that? I think our scabs are going to have enough fodder with our high creature count that we're not going to need to mill. And I don't want to mill any of our tricks or good creatures. So this is looking like a 16 land deck to me. It's a shame we didn't get any 1-drops, but them be the breaks. So what can we cut? I like all our 4s. Maybe we can live without a Mauler and just use the Scab. Lifelink, yeah, I think a 4/5 is pretty solid. But I think both Scabs are kind of, I'm calling this a Scab, but the Mauler and the Scab are pretty much playing the same role. It's just a big ground body, and this guy does a better job of it. I really want to get this Gavany in here. But let's throw some lands in, see if we can't make that happen. 8 and 8. Sounds good. So if we want to add a township, I'd want to run 2 forests. So we'd probably cut in 2 islands and a plains. Bring us to 7 and 6. I feel like township is good enough. We have 2 double white cards, which is really the only hindrance to bring this in. The question is the consistency of the 2 color land base more important than the power level of Gavany Township? And I think we can live without it for the off chance we get. It's so tough without fixing. It's just a real crapshoot. I need 2 of 3 cards in a 40 card deck. Yeah, I think that just might be too greedy. We'll just try to run it as consistent as we can. And it's always a sideboard option if we feel like we need a little more legs. If we get in, like, a creature-on-creature battle. But I'll see you for round 1.